Hi there, this is Babsy, and today we're playing Rimworld, a survival sci-fi game where you crash land on a planet and have to create a colony from the ground up and survive however you can. Today we're going to be starting a new file, just the basic storyline, and we're going to see how it goes. So we're going to play it on the random mode. Basically this makes it so that anything can happen at any time. Makes the game a little more interesting. I don't really have any plans going into this. It's pretty much just going to be whatever the game throws at me. I'm not going to randomize my characters too much. I'm just going to let it play out however it does. I'm going to start off in a easier biome to start in, a temperate forest where it's year-round growing season. This way it's just a little bit easier for me to survive. And I think I might build it in a hilly area. Make it a little bit more interesting. So, we're starting off with Ollie Gill, 60-year-old doctor. I can't go wrong with the doctor. They are always useful to have around. Apparently his ex-lover is one of the other members of this colony, but that's okay. We'll deal with that as it comes. So for his childhood, he was a sickly child. That's kind of ironic considering he grew up to be a doctor, which made him very familiar with science and with medicine. Makes sense. And as an adult, he grew up to be a veterinarian. So he's actually very good with animals too, as you can see. And research. He's actually a pretty well-rounded guy. I'm pretty happy with this one. So he's abrasive, he's not the best at socializing, and he has 0 in social. He's psychically dull, which can be good and bad. Basically in this game there are psychic drones that happen every, couple seasons, every once in a while. And they can either do good or do bad, so I'm not going to say this one's a positive or a negative. He's got a chemical interest, so he will sometimes ignore the laws and go and do drugs that might not be appropriate for the colony, so we'll have to keep an eye on this one. Next we have Rachel Daniel, a 42-year-old recruiter, whatever that means. She seems to be pretty good in melee, so not too bad. At least we have somebody who can fight. As a child, she was a cave world tunneler, but she can't do a whole lot because of that, so that's useful. And she's a recruiter now, so she was part of a revered order of martial artists, infamous both of their skill in combat and for their practice of refusing to treat their wounded. I have nothing to say there. That's very interesting. So she's incapable of doing intellectual tasks, so researching. She can't care for others, so she can't do doctoring, and she can't do crafting. As well, she can't do smithing, tailoring, or, researching. She's neurotic, so that will be fun. They tend to work harder, but they have mental breaks much quicker. And mental breaks are the funnest part of this game. She's a jogger, so she walks very quickly. Useful whenever you're a meleeer. And she's jealous, so she has to have the best room of them all. Honestly, you're all getting the same room and it's going to be horrible. Finally, we have Charna Frost. She's an empath, so she has crazy, ridiculously high social skill. This is perfect, exactly what we need. We have a well-rounded group of people here. So as a child, she was a medieval lordling, a minor noble in an old kingdom on a medieval world. And as an adult, she was an empath with the amazing ability to relate to others and mediate conflict. Maybe she can mediate the conflict between Daniel and Gil. She's incapable of violence, which is fine because we do have somebody who can fight. She's also abrasive, which is honestly surprising to me. And an optimist. There we go. So we have 3 really good starting characters here. So let's see how this goes. We'll start off building up our base. Well, first we'll check out the map, see what we've started with. So the three of you awaken your crypto-sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. So, right off the bat, we got a little place here, and some jade. Got some ship chunks all around. Always nice. There's some decent resources around here. This is a pretty decent map. So we've got a lot to work with here. We've got a lot of steel, some compact machinery. Some more steel over here. Yeah, there's abundance of things here. This will be perfectly fine. That's what they all say at the start. Alright, so first things first. Let's get ourselves a stockpile zone. So in Rimworld, one of the main parts is creating zones. Creating places where your people will automatically go to help keep the colony alive. I want to keep it in a small area that is easily accessible from any point, preferably not one that they can grow things on. So I'm going to select this little spot here, create a little wall for it. As you can see, they've already started hauling this piece of steel over there. And now they started on the building. So with Rimworld, you start off with a random scenario. There's also 3 base scenarios. In this case, I picked one of the base scenarios, where you start off with basic materials, you know, some steel, some silver for trading, some wood, and food. And then you start off with 2 random pets. Or is it just 1? I only see 1. So we've got Burn the Husky here. And it looks like he's all we got. That's fine. So pets are pretty useful, depending on their trainability. And we have a vet who's going to be very useful with animals, so we'll be able to train them pretty quickly. So the Husky is actually very intelligent and very easy to train. So you can train it to follow you around. You can train it to release on the person it's following whenever they get into combat. You can release them. You can have them rescue your colonists should they be down for whatever reason. And you can have them haul objects. Probably my favorite task to put on. Because nobody in the colony likes to haul objects. It's a fact. So while they're doing that, we're going to build up a little base over here. We'll give them each equal-sized rooms. We'll mine this out eventually. I guess we need one more because there's nobody sleeping together in this one. Now I have played this game a bit before. I definitely have not seen all there is to this game. This game is incredibly in-depth. There is no possible way I could explain to you how much stuff is involved in this game. You really have to play it or see it to believe it. But that's what makes this game so incredible, is that there's always something new happening. You never know what's coming next. So we're just going to equip the meleeer with her knife so that she has some way of protecting herself. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? You are wandering. There's also a work task bar that you can look at. This has all the tasks that can be performed by the colonists, and you can choose what they do and do not perform. Largely you would base this on what they're good at, what they're passionate in, and what you desperately need at the time. So for me right now, I need them to be cutting plants, and I need to tell them to cut plants first. This way we can get rid of all those trees and bushes that are inside their soon-to-be homes. So back to the work panel, we're going to have our plant cut assigned to all. The doctoring, obviously, we're going to keep to the... Actually, we'll keep it to both, how it is. They're both pretty good at doctoring. Wardening is pretty great. That's whenever you take prisoners. You absolutely can do that in this game. And we've got handles, so again, you've got your vets who can tame the animals. You have cooking, hunting, constructing is going to go up quite quickly as they're building quite a bit of stuff, and that's why I have 2 people wandering around. We only have 1 person assigned to crafting, or constructing. So we'll fix that, and get everybody busy. And let's get some beds in here. Luckily, with this game, as I think most RTS type games should have, there is a speed function. So let's just speed this up while they build their house. Yeah. Maybe we'll take somebody off the plant cutting. Alright, well, this is the start of Rimworld. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you continue to watch for the episodes to come. This is the start of a, I'm sure, interesting series, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. This is Babsy, logging out.